Yes, my name is Sophia Olivas, co-founder and CEO of EverSmart City. EverSmart City is a mixed-use IRL smart community built with shipping containers to provide affordable housing powered by renewable energy, has sustainable agriculture, and is integrated with blockchain technology. The pilot city will be built in Phoenix, Arizona by the end of 2023.
My name is Mark Anthony. I'm co-founder of EverSmart City, and if this is your first time seeing one of our videos, be sure to like it. Also, subscribe in the comments. Type where you're watching in from, and be sure to click the notification bell so you can get notifications every time we drop a new video, which is every day, so you can see us every day. And we have a bunch of videos that you can watch. Talking about all the ways that EverSmart City aligns with SDG goals, with a bunch of the ins and outs of EverSmart City, our plans, our goals, our missions, our visions. You can check all that out, as well as jump in and join our Discord if you like having conversations about renewable energy, crypto, real estate, smart homes, communities, container homes, anything cool like that. Jump in the Discord, share some cool articles with us. We love learning new stuff. We love collaborating with people. So come in, introduce yourselves, and join the conversation. And today, Sophia's going to kick us off with some stats, and we're going to talk about some more of EverSmart City's magic.
Yes, we get to talk about one of our exciting components of EverSmart City, which is our farmers markets. So here's some statistics on that. Direct to consumer revenue at farmers markets totaled $711 million. Farmers markets provide one of the only low barrier entry points for new farmers, ranchers, and food entrepreneurs, allowing them to start small and test new products. Farmers and ranchers receive only 15 cents of every dollar that consumers spend at a traditional food outlet like a grocery store. At a farmer's market, however, 100% of your food dollar goes to your local farmer. And when you do that, farmers then have shown that they will spend more money on better tilling practices, cover crops. They have on-site composting, and they integrate other soil practices into their farm operations because they have more profit to work with. And studies have shown that all farms, regardless of scale, are significantly more likely to survive if they have local food sales as part of their marketing portfolio. Another interesting statistic is that over 7,000 markets and direct marketing farmers accepted SNAP and EBT, resulting in 22 million in SNAP spent at farmers markets. That's fresh food access and more money in the pockets of small farmers. That's a total win all the way around. And 72% of consumers know nothing or very little about farming or ranching. So farmers markets can serve as an invaluable educational site and a rare bridge between urban and rural communities. So Mark, why are farmers markets so expensive, and how is EverSmart City building their farmers market?
So one of the things that EverSmart City is going to do to separate itself from other farmers markets is a supply chain. Our supply chain is going to be a smart chain, or better known as a blockchain, which is going to be a complete seed to sale supply chain software, which can pretty much cover a few different aspects. It can cover all of the data, statistics, and reports of the growing process of every food, but it also can monitor and record all the data for all the sales. So one thing that this can do is knowing that you know there's smart refrigerators now, or smart home technology that can be used in refrigerators that can sense when your items in your refrigerator are low and automatically put in orders to replace them and buy new food. Well, that software is really going to be boosted by the seed to sale supply chain software, which is widely used now in a lot of dispensaries in the cannabis market. And one of the ways that they use it is for complete pretty much tracking of all the sales, and mainly for the different trends in the sales, knowing what's selling, what type of stuff people are buying, how much people are buying, and then getting a tracking of who those people are to get a better sense on their end to know what to grow, how much to grow, and when. So when it comes to food, this becomes very interesting because one of the big problems with huge grocery stores like nationwide, grocery stores is that here in America we rarely come across food shortages. We have another problem of overproduction, and we have a problem that a lot of food goes bad. And in that process, depending on what type of food is grown, a lot of extra resources could be wasted, be it electricity, or water, even, or even equipment like fuel to harvest and till the land. A lot of resources can be wasted from overproduction, and a lot of that is because they never want to come up short because they don't really have a pinpoint accurate idea of the market demand. So one thing that the supply chain can do with our seed to sale software is, say you go to the farmers market, and on your banana, your apple is a QR code. You could scan that QR code, and with it, you can see essentially its entire life cycle from the moment it was planted. You could see every day on a video stream the visual of it. You could see what the temperature was day by day. You could see what the oxygen and CO2 levels. So we'll be having different types. Community gardens that are going to be supplying our farmers market. So all the food in our farmers market is going to come from our community garden, where we'll have a 20,000 square foot indoor controlled climate garden. Uh, we'll have aquaponic systems with fish like tilapia in it, for all more than organic food growth, no chemicals at all, using natural fish to fertilize the water and the food. We'll have hydroponic systems that use gray water and black water recycling and reclamation that we capture throughout the community, recycling, filtering, and cleaning that water. That will be used for some of the hydroponics, and as well as aeroponic gardens, and as well as the community gardens where residents can either grow their own food or grow food to supply for the farmers market. And so what's then going to happen is, now that one of the problems is that a lot of farmers don't necessarily know how much to grow. They're basically just trying to get as many profits as they can because they're spending fuel, they're spending gas. What we're going to be able to do is, since we're recycling water, we're using aquaponic systems, our whole community is run on solar, and we're using the supply chain to have a better idea of what to grow and when. We're going to be able to have a lot more of control over the resources that we use, and not over consuming, or overusing the resources. We'll have a better understanding extremely accurately from the sales of what foods to grow and when, and how much the demand is, so we never overgrow crops, wasting extra water because we're recycling all the water. So we really don't have water to waste, be it on top of the fact that we're in a desert. And then two, same with the solar and the electricity from all the grow lights. All of our solar is all of our electricity comes from our solar system and our battery storage. And any extra electricity that we use cuts into our mining capabilities. So we want to be as proficient as possible. So what the supply chain or the blockchain does is, while we're using a blockchain smart chain for our supply chain, is this one key feature of the blockchain where it has a public ledger, meaning anybody can go and see it. So I mentioned that anybody could scan an item at the farmer's market and see the entire life cycle of the plant. It can be used as an educational tool to get people to start learning how to grow again, how these plants were grown. There'll even be features in there that educate the residents how to grow the food in the farmer's garden if they choose to grow certain avocados or pumpkins, or beans, that they'll be able to learn how to do this in real time. And then the blockchain public ledger, as people start to buy these foods, that they'll be able to see the entire life cycle and really learn the process and educate themselves and get closer to the farmers, and not be have such a huge gap between the farmer and consumer, but be right there in the farmers market, and get a lot of education. And we also teach the public and the rest of the residents how to feed themselves, how to grow this food, and it's all done thanks to the blockchain.
Another thing to point out is that during the pandemic, and also seen in other natural disasters, some of the longer supply chains struggled, and farmers markets remained an essential source of safe and healthy food. They were able to pivot quickly. Most of them became charitable food donation and distribution points. They were able to be the first to set up online marketplaces and adapt to public health requirements. So it's an incredible way to build community, provide entertainment. All kinds of things happen around farmers markets, and gathering good, nutritious food and trying out new things. So we'd like to thank you for joining us. We look forward to continuing the conversation with you in Discord. EverSmart City, where technology enhances the human experience.